What's up, everybody? This is Steve from AltCoin Buzz, and I wanted to go over a few topics today and point out a few things that I've seen in the cryptosphere. So stay tuned. We've got the U.S. government looking to solve peer-to-peer energy sales through the blockchain. Sound familiar? We've also got some ideas of things you can do in your idle time that might help you earn a little bit of cryptocurrency. So let's dive in, and it looks like today the market has mostly been in the green. You might have seen our video released just a few moments ago. Doesn't necessarily mean we are in the clear. It is refreshing to see that, though. Some people may claim it's a bull trap. Some people may call that some bullshit. But either way, the money's up. So always a good thing. If you guys have been listening to our videos lately, be sure to give us some likes. It really shows us your appreciation and helps us make sure that other people out there get to see our great videos here on YouTube. We've got a notification from many of you that you've not been receiving the notifications from YouTube when we publish new videos, and that might mean that you haven't liked our videos in a while. There's probably an algorithm at play there. So very sorry about that, guys. Glad to hear you are missing out on us if that's the case. Welcome back either way. If you're not subscribed to us here on YouTube, we are AltCoin Buzz. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell next to that to make sure you get those aforementioned notifications. If you want to check us out on Twitter, we are at AltCoinBuzzIO. We are always posting on there, and we're also on Instagram. We are at AltCoinBuzz on Instagram. So taking a look, it's, as I said, it's good to see. We've got Bitcoin. It's nearing that 12,000, or it feels like it's going to hit that 12,000 bucks. But let's take a look at one of the news stories I came across on CoinDesk. So this says the U.S. government lab looks to blockchain for peer-to-peer energy, and blockchain startup BlockCyphers partnered with the U.S. Department of Energy lab to develop solutions allowing energy transactions to be settled across multiple blockchains. Well, to me, this sounds a lot like Power Ledger. It may not be exactly the same. Of course, you'd have to look at the white paper, but as we see more and more and more of these currencies come out that are backed by some form of tech, we're bound to see overlap. We're also bound to see improvement. Some of you guys have mentioned, oh, that's, so-and-so, there's only room for one. Well, a monopoly is never really a good thing for innovation, and it's not good for the end consumer, because that means that one person has control of the pricing, one person has control of the patents, the innovation, so on and so forth. So these people could potentially give Power Ledger a run for their money. I've never heard of BlockCypher, and maybe we should check them out. I don't even know if they have an ICO. I didn't get that far into it. But it's telling to say that the United States government and most businesses across the world, whether they feel threatened or enlightened by blockchain or smart contracts, is definitely piquing its interest. I think some people are feigning that interest, whatever that proper terminology is, where they are only acting interested for the sake of fear of competition or for the sake of feeling that they need to be with the times. But the United States government certainly paid enough attention to cryptocurrency in the last year or so with the SEC threatening regulations. We've had that mentioned here, and we'll just show you also on CoinDesk. You can take a look at that. Jeff did a video on that earlier this morning if you missed that. But the SEC has threatened that they're going to start stepping in potentially, which would be interesting considering that, we're considering ourselves an unregulated space. That would certainly bring regulation to the market, which is good and which is also bad. I think that the fact that this is unregulated, that it doesn't behave like stocks, it is venture capitalism and not necessarily the same situation as an IPO. An IPO is generally reserved for a company that has a successful business model or a potentially successful business model that wants to go ahead and pass scrutinized tests and then go into public funding. This is more of what ICOs are more of like what companies do typically in the private world, which is to seek out angel investors or halo investors. And we, in a larger scale, kind of like a Kickstarter type, could jump in and provide the necessary capital to fund those projects that we believe in. Hopefully you guys are in it for the tech. That's kind of like picking up a Playboy and saying that you're only in there for the articles. You're only in crypto for the tech. But it's got to be true, because if you don't believe in a project, then you're in it for the hype, and that is for all the wrong reasons. You don't want to be like good old Doug Polk in his video that I was watching this morning on my morning drive, where he was saying that he forgot to dump and all he did was pump. So that dude's hilarious. Me and him should be friends. He probably hates me. I don't care. But that's basically it. So I wanted to cover some of the things that you could do in your spare time if you, just as a hobby, more so than anything, want to dabble in things that can help earn you cryptocurrencies. Some of them may cost you money. Some of them will cost you time, which is essentially money. None of them are really going to net you any serious returns. So that's why I say it's a hobby. Some people will scoff at the idea of these types of activities, but they can be fun and they can help you understand a little bit more about the blockchain by getting you involved in some of the processes. So we'll start off with one of the least controversial types out there, and that would be mining. So mining is traditionally, in the sense, running the computations with your computers, your ASIC chips, your GPUs, to be able to process the hash, like read through the hashes on the blockchain to verify transactions and pass those off for a consensus. That's where if you've ever traded coins and you've seen that it needs 6 confirmations, 32 confirmations, things like that, you are essentially mining and providing one of those verifications. The same person can't verify twice on the same transaction. You need to get it from multiple sources to have a like a consortium, a consensus. So mining can be very expensive, however. Effective mining, right? Because you have to wait. If you want to be profitable with mining, you have to look at the cost of your equipment and then the kilowatt hour consumption versus the mining power and the current price of the coin that you're mining. In most cases, a lot of mining turns out to be not profitable. And there are people out there currently mining coins that are not turning them a profit today. That certainly was the case for a lot of Bitcoin miners back in the day. And it caused a lot of people to abandon and sometimes even throw their computers in the dumpster that still had coins locked on the hard drive. We've heard horror stories about this now that people are having an epiphany that Bitcoin that they were mining for fun eventually became worth something, and they hadn't taken it seriously when they decided to throw their old gaming PC into the trash. So to effectively get into mining, you have to buy typically multi-$1,000 rigs of equipment, of which have many months or years sometimes of a payback period, given that you have to keep the equipment up and running and pay a lot of energy costs to run that. And then you have wear and tear on that said equipment, and some of the expected lifespan for these junk chips can be 4 months of continuous use, could be 8 months of continuous use. And if they don't live out their average life expectancy or their life expectancy, and they crack on you or burn up on you, then you're not going to turn a profit, because you need to have the equipment up and running at full efficiency for a period of time in which to turn a profit. So then that's where I say it's more of a hobby. There are some places out there where you can get yourself into cryptocurrency, and that would be not really for profit. But here's one that I've checked out before, and I'll drop a link below so that you guys can sign up for it if you want to. This is minergate.com, and what you can do on minergate.com is basically rent out your CPU space, and in some cases compatible GPUs, with a graphical user interface of which you can get onto minergate.com, download your Windows or Mac application, run that in the background with your choice of complexity or intensity, and it's going to mine coins for you when your computer is essentially idle. You can do it while you're even using the computer, and it may or may not impede the computer's potential performance, but depending on how severely you're using it, you may or may not see a reduction. So I'll include a referral link to that if you guys do want to get started. I just do it more out of curiosity, and also because you can do it on your cell phone too. So if you're on an iPhone or you're on an Android phone, you can download it either from the iTunes Store or from Google Play. And that app allows you to even use the CPU on your cell phone. Now, I've tried out quite a few different types of quote unquote cell phone mining. Most of them want to show you ads, and really they're just generating ad revenue. And some of them, even though they're showing you an earn, it's some type of computer algorithm that decides to show you things that look like you're earning and actually mining, but you're not providing actual computational work for the proof of work required for coin mining. You're just wasting time. And in some cases, they won't even pay you out when you go ahead and send your address. There's no way to reach those people. Minergate is a different story. You do have to actually look at the minimum withdrawal amounts and the minimum verification amounts. So it does take considerable amounts of time in order to use your cell phone to mine currency to a withdrawable amount. So you got to figure that Minergate is possibly netting a definite profit from squeezing you a little bit on your shares out of the pool because they're getting a pool fee, and then also the abandoned coin balances, of which are probably sitting within their central wallet, of which they have complete access to. Now, they have been around for a few years. They also offer cloud mining, so that's another form. You can use your computer or mining rig with these guys. So you could do traditional mining, you could do CPU mining, you could do mobile mining, and then you could also buy cloud mining contracts for Monero and Bitcoin. Cloud mining is controversial. You obviously have to have faith that the company's not going to rip you off. With all the woes of BitConnect out there, which was, by the way, not cloud mining, but still trust in a third party, and we're dealing with a trustless system. If you go ahead and you pay, let's say, $100 for a mining contract, you can actually get in for as little as a few dollars if you just want to check it out for curiosity's sake. But let's say you put $100 in and you calculate that it's going to take you 10 whole months in order to break even. And that's about what I've figured out. It's somewhere between 10 and 11 months. And it really depends on whether the price of Bitcoin stays the same or whether it goes up in value. So I have purchased a couple of small cloud mining contracts with them over the last couple months just out of curiosity, because I'm learning, I'm trying to build trust with it. I don't think it's ultimately going to be profitable. But, worst comes to worst, it's been fun. It gives me something to look at. And during a down market like we've had in the recent times, it's still fun to see your Bitcoin balance go up, even if it's by a small amount. So take it with a grain of salt. There are other people out there. There's, of course, NiceHash. There's some other ones. This isn't a be-all, end-all. It's not a recommendation to get out there and jump into it. It's just something fun that you can do and stay involved in cryptocurrency in your spare time. It'll probably burn up your cell phone over a period of time. So if you really, really, really love your cell phone, you got the iPhone 10 or something like that, you might not want to be using it to mine cryptocurrencies, because it will eat the heck out of your battery. You probably want to do it while you're plugged in, and it'll probably wear down the equipment, just like mining does to regular equipment. There's another way you can make money out there, and some of these coins that are out there have the ability to stake. So let's look at proof of stake here real quick. Now, most coins like Bitcoin, for example, and currently Ethereum and all that, are currently on a proof of work concept, which requires a massive amount of mining, in which people are out there running their machines with the aforementioned mining to provide the hash work in order to verify transactions. And that's because it's kind of like you're running the transaction fees or for a payment processor. Now, proof of stake is quite different, and I'm not going to have a perfect breakdown of it for you, but taking a look at it on Wikipedia and some of my basic knowledge that I've had from staking some of my coins, essentially when a new block is generated, it's being generated with the size of the stake, age of the stake, and things like that being taken into consideration, and they let one of the stakeholders, somebody holding a stake, generate the new block. They figure that person has credibility, and because it's chosen at random with oftentimes some sort of calculation or weighted average being applied to it, then that person gets a reward. So if you're staking by yourself, just like proof of work, mining by yourself, it's a crapshoot whether you're the one that gets that block reward. Now, if you want to stake in a pool, then you have a greater chance. Just like mining in a pool, you're going to end up paying pool fees, but you're also going to net yourself a nice hefty potential, or I shouldn't say a nice hefty profit, but a consistent profit from it. So proof of stake means that you're setting your coins aside, not using them, and kind of like some of them you leave in your wallet, some of them you can take to a pool. If you do put them in a pool, consider it unsecure. It's just like putting and leaving your money on the exchange. It can be hacked. It's not safe, and you have to have trust in the company, which I don't recommend you trust the company doing the pool staking, and they can run off with your coins at any time and claim that it was Pinocchio's fault or anybody else's issue. I got into proof of stake because I purchased some coins that just so happen to be proof of stake, and a lot of them are privacy coins. I'm a big fan of privacy coins. If you've listened to me in the past, one of the coins that we had gotten into recently had become, for lack of a better word, de-indexed, but it's still out there in existence. I don't know if it's necessarily really de-indexed, but it's not being currently traded. So if you go to CoinMarketCap, you really can't find it. That one is Ember Coin, and they had done a coin burn. There's also, they're moving into Chartis, supposedly. Some people call BS to that. I'm okay either way, but I have a massive amount of these. So I had purchased a big supply of them. I think they were worth at one point way under a Satoshi, bought a grip load of these things for like, I don't know, $50, $100, something like that. And then they went up greatly in value, and I got rid of like a quarter of it because I wanted to keep a core position. So then I moved that core position recently over into a staking pool on stakeunited.com. So these guys allow you to take any of the coins mentioned here on the left and stake those coins for the sake of being able to get some of the block rewards when those when the stakes are completed. So you have the current balance here, what that's worth in US dollars. Some of them, like Embercoin, are worth 0 because there's currently no value on it. Same thing with IC. I don't know too much about that, but this is how many hours it's taking on average to generate stake reward. And then this is the total stake rewards on the right-hand side in terms of coin. So most of these coins that are on here are going to be junk coins, but there's a couple, or at least one I want to call out, which is PivX. PivX is one of the, well, I guess I'd call it one of the premier privacy coins out there, and it's based on a proof of stake. So you can come in here, stake your PivX, and then end up generating yourself some more PivX. And at PivX current price, it says that you are able to generate a stake reward roughly every 72 hours or 3 days. And there's only a few people staking it right now for 3,130 stake, but the reward is really freaking small. So that's not going to net you a lot of gains. But that's okay if you're not going to basically be doing anything with those coins. You might be able to stake those coins privately on your own, but if you want to get into a pool, here's a place where you can do that. I may drop a referral link in the comments as well, so you'll have the referral link for MinerGate if you want to get in there. You'll have the referral gate here for Stake United if you wish to play around with it. I'm not by any means suggesting you go out and buy any of the coins that are on here and just for the sake of staking them, but if you happen to already hold on to some of them like I did, why not move those over here and stake them, unless you just really want to hodl them on your private wallet, which I 100% respect. So we've gone over mining, we've gone over staking. There's also faucets. They're complete crap. There's faucet apps on your phone that may or may not actually give you rewards. Trade Satoshi had faucets for a while. They shut them off, and unless you're really just looking to keep coming back to a website, you're going to find that a lot of the cryptocurrency exchanges do referral codes and they do faucets to bring you back, because it helps get repeat visitors, time on site, and the referral links give them good SEO value. So it's a great play of which these guys are trying to be competitive with each other for search engine ranking. But, hey, it must work, right? So I won't go into detail on faucets because there's really none of those faucets giving away any coins of value or any significant amount of coin that's really even tradable. But they exist, and I just wanted to mention those to you guys. So another way to do it is referral codes. Now, there's a lot of exchanges out there like KuCoin, which has a nice referral bounty system, of which you're going to get paid a portion of the exchange fees for each of the people that you refer into KuCoin exchange. So they not only have to sign up, but they actually have to execute some trades, and you're going to receive a really small amount. But you're going to get that in KuCoin shares. And KuCoin shares have actually been doing pretty well. So I'm sure they've been down with the rest of the market, but Binance and a lot of these other exchanges have, I typed it in wrong. A lot of these other exchanges have their own currency too. So $8.15, it had been worth like $20 not too long ago. So, never buy at all-time highs. That's proof right there. Sometimes even if you bought right there in the dip, if you didn't sell then you'd still be holding off. So sometimes the dip's not the dip and you got to wait for the next dip. It's a roller coaster ride. But so KuCoin's one of them. I think Binance has them. Coinbase, that's a big one, right? Coinbase gets a lot of people into crypto. They're currently accepting accounts. They're not really an exchange. They're a medium into cryptocurrency from your fiat, and they're a way out. They're the revolving door at the front of the lobby. I wouldn't go on there. The fees are high. I wouldn't go on there and buy Bitcoin to trade for Ethereum, to trade for Litecoin, circle jerk yourself into running out of money and making Coinbase a rich place. But they're there. The referral codes can earn you some decent change. They'll pay you out $10 in Bitcoin for everybody that signs up, and that person who signs up will also earn $10 in Bitcoin. The caveat is they have to purchase $100 in cryptocurrency. So the fact that there's so many people out there dropping these referral codes means that Coinbase is getting a good SEO play by having their outbound links embedded on so many other sites, YouTube, things like that. They're getting referral traffic, and then they're also doing it as a form of marketing. Some people say bad things about referral codes, but one way or the other, a company is going to have to spend money on marketing. It's probably costing them a lot less money to divvy up $20 to you guys, split equally, than it is to pay for AdWords or banner ads like you see on the top and the side here. It's tax season, H&R Block, get your freaking taxes done. Unfortunately, I don't qualify for free taxes, make too much money, but such is life, crypto life, thug life, whatever you want to call it. So comment below if you like hearing about things like this. This is Steve from AltCoin Buzz.